3 days ago on the channel, I made a video talking about the fact that I truly believe a fantastic buying opportunity was going to be coming very soon for some of our great altcoins, such as our ADAs, our Matics, our BNBs, our Ethereums. And what we're seeing is that it's getting very, very close, okay? So what I'm going to talk about today are some things that I'm looking at, some great bullish signs that we've seen from many of our altcoins, and when I'm going to be buying if these things do play out. Of course, if you do enjoy today's video, you can let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are new. But with that being said, let's go ahead and let's check out some of these charts. So what we're going to talk about first is what we're seeing with Bitcoin dominance. Well, if we do go see here, we can see that a full breakdown happened, right? We saw a break out of the apex and then a throwback into the apex exactly as we called here. Pay attention, listen to this. Very strong area of resistance. And so that is going to be another squeeze. So we have the squeeze here, we have the squeeze here. I just think that those two combined are going to put pressure downwards, and we're going to see this downward movement. And so that's exactly what happened, right? So we saw that this resistance was going to be very, very strong. This 49 to our 51, it served as too much resistance. And then from there, we did see the breakdown in Bitcoin dominance, basically meaning that altcoins are now outperforming Bitcoin in the short term, okay? Now, of course, this can be highlighted just looking at some of our pairs. If we look at ADA Bitcoin pair, 3 days of green. If we do look at Ethereum Bitcoin pair, 3 days of green. And if we look at Bitcoin dominance, 3 days of red. So we can see there that our altcoins are just outperforming, doing better than what we are seeing from Bitcoin. Now they are all falling, but Bitcoin's falling a little bit worse. Okay, so from there we've been seeing that, that is our biggest bullish sign for altcoins. That's a big thing saying, okay, this could be a great indicator that we're about to see this breakdown in Bitcoin dominance that we've been looking for. And if that does happen, that's a key sign saying, look, it's time for altcoins. It's time for altcoins to outperform. And we want to make sure we're putting our money, in my non-financial advisor opinion, of course, in these places that are going to be performing the best, right? That's just, standard investing. You want to put your money in the best performing places. So what I'm looking for now is a few different things to happen. Well, one great thing that we did also see was going to be the fact that we've set these higher highs on total market cap 2. Total market cap 2 is everything but Bitcoin. All cryptos but Bitcoin. And we can see that the total market cap is in an uptrend. More money is coming in. It is a good sign. Of course, now as we do go forward, we want to see that we do set this higher low, but we'll talk about that in a second. So that's another fantastic sign, just to go to show that altcoins are still holding strong, and we're still in this uptrend. Although Bitcoin's not doing well and we're seeing a little red today, we're still seeing actually that our total market cap 2 is in the green, which is fantastic. Okay, if we do look at Ethereum Bitcoin, which is going to be one of our key indicators for our altcoins to say how are altcoins doing, look at this. Ethereum and Bitcoin the Ethereum Bitcoin pair has been in a bit of this wedge here, right? Kind of consolidating within that. And we've seen the breakout to the upside now. Now, of course, there may be a throwback into the apex as we did see with Bitcoin dominance, but I'd be willing to say that even if we fall, we'll probably find some support and work our way back up. I don't have a crystal ball, but that's what I'm looking for to happen. I want that to happen, of course, as I do believe altcoins are finding some growth and some strength right now. And so what I'm looking at is all of these different things are pointing in the direction that an uptrend has started for our altcoins, right? Again, we saw Ethereum Bitcoin, the breakout to the upside, total market cap 2, setting of a new higher high. We have Bitcoin dominance breaking down, showing that altcoins are outperforming. All of these are great, great, great bullish signs. Not saying that we are out the woods yet with altcoins, don't get me wrong, but they're all great bullish signs. Now, I'm going to use ADA as an example today just to kind of show you what I'm looking for when the buying opportunity is, because many of our different cryptos are seeing the same exact formulation. Well, the last very good bullish sign that we're seeing is on some of our different moving averages, our short-term moving averages in comparison to long-term moving averages. Today, I'm looking at our 50 moving average with our 9 moving average. We can see here that a bullish cross is probably going to happen within the next couple of days unless there is a brief touch and a continuation, which I don't think is going to happen. I think that we are likely going to see this bullish crossover happen. And what that is when your short-term moving average does cross over your long-term moving average, right? And we see something like that. That's bullish, okay? So from there, it's just multiple things. We're seeing a lot of bullish crossovers. We're starting to see, again, our breakouts. We're starting to see our higher highs. We're starting to see our breakouts to the downside, Bitcoin dominance. I mean, so many things are pointing in the upward trajectory, but we have to be real and say that there are some things saying we may see a fall here. And that's where my buying opportunity is at. So let me explain what the two options are from the charts right now and when I would be buying on both options. Because I can never tell you what exactly is going to happen, but I can tell you what I think may happen for a few different options and how I would react to each one. Well, what we're seeing right now is that there is the potential that we could see the breakout to the upside. Now, what I mean by that, though, is that there is potential, is that I don't necessarily think it's going to happen just yet. The reason I say that is because we can see on something like ADA, for example, that we have seen a big growth in price. But if we realistically just take a look at the volume, let's go ahead and let me pull this up a little bit. We can see that volume, there we go, so I moved that out the way. You can see that volume's not really been doing the most, right? So we have this big uptrend and volume has been actually seeing a bit of bearish divergence, basically meaning whenever we're seeing the price increase, volume decrease, it goes to show that there may be a lack of strength there. And if there's a lack of strength, of course, that may mean that a rollover is imminent. And we've been seeing that a lot, right? I mean, we've been seeing that if we do go ahead and we take our swing high, we go down to our swing low, we're working our way within these retracement levels and unable to clear them. We're going here, we're going up, retracement, a fall. Seeing it again. Let's go here. Boom, boom, swing high, swing low. We go in, we find our high, we work our way down, we set our low, we go up into retracement zone, and we're unable to clear it. That's bearish. I mean, that's bearish. Yeah, we don't want to see that happen, right? We want to see that we can clear this 786 to start to set some of these new higher highs as we are seeing with something like Ethereum. Look at Ethereum setting that new higher high off of there. That's what we want to see. It's just not happening just yet with ADA and Matic and all of these, but it's getting close. So optimally speaking, what would be the best case scenario right now and another great buying opportunity would be, or the first great buying opportunity is going to be if we can find some support here. If we can hold this 618, in which we're looking at right now. I didn't mean to do that. There we go. If we can set this and hold this 618 as our support would be at $1.31. Work our way back up, and we would absolutely have to clear. I think this is $1.39. Yeah, $1.39 to $1.40. If we can clear that, I would be looking to see, boom, a retest there. That's my buying opportunity. That's buying opportunity number one, because that tells me that if we can establish support, a day or two, 2-3 days of support, that goes to show that we're finally reversing this pattern and we can more than likely work our way up to set this new higher high. Of course, that would mean that we can see some upward growth potential there. So even if it retraces, we do know that the uptrend has started. It's not confirmed, but it's gotten started, right? So from there, what if that doesn't happen? Because again, remember, we're looking at volume decreasing. Volume is not supporting that move. But the thing is, we could be looking at the establishment of support on top of our 50. Look at this. Very, very bullish thing is the fact that we are seeing this 50, which we failed to clear here. We failed to clear here. But we've now worked our way above it, and that may act as support. That 618 to that 50-day moving average. If we can use both of them as support as they are acting as now, that could be enough upward momentum to get us above $1.40, which would be optimal because that's buying opportunity number one. Now, I'm not sure if that'll happen. I think what's more likely to happen is that a fall comes, okay? But that's fine, right? We've seen some very, very good bullish movement in the last couple days, the last week or two now at this point, right? And so even if the fall does happen, I think all chips are pointing that we can set the higher low. Everything is saying to me that this uptrend has started for altcoins, and what an uptrend is two parts. We need to set higher highs, meaning we need to set a higher high off of this one, but it starts with a higher low as well. We need to go down and we need to just simply set a higher low off of these lows in which we've been setting every single time we see one of these falls. We see the high, we fall low, we fall into the zone. We find a high, we find a low, we fall into the zone. We set our high up there, of course, we find a low every single time. Step number one for us is that if we do start to fall, step number one, of course, would be optimal is if we can go up, use these two as support, again, our 618 and our 50-day moving average, use that to establish this uptrend and set a higher high. Of course, that would be the best case scenario, but everyone can say, oh, we want to see it go up. But step number 1/2 would be that we can go down and set our higher low here. Now, I think that this is very possible. So let's get this off the screen here. We don't need this at the moment, and we don't need volume. Let's really clear up some of these charts, and I'll show you guys exactly what I want to see happen. Well, if we pull up our RSI, boom, let's go relative strength index. We can see a few different things. Now, I'm actually not gonna, let's see, I don't even need this one. Let's go here, boom, let's go there, cool. Well, a few things we can see happening at the moment. Well, we were in a bit of a downtrend on our RSI, right? We're in a bit of a downtrend. We're here. It was something along these lines, okay? We're in here, and we were kind of working our way within this channel. Well, we again did see a breakout this way. And so one key indicator that says to me that if we do fall, we may find support is if we cannot fall back into this channel, we may have some support here, right? Because we see resistance and support operating on our RSI just as we do it with the price. So I'd love to see that even if we do set something up here, that we can go down and boom, establish this as our support region, because we can see that buying pressure has changed and selling pressure has changed as well. So I'm not 100% sure that we are even going to work our way back down into this channel, which would then lead us to set a new low somewhere within this region. I think that we find support a little bit earlier, which would then allow us to set the lower low here. So where does the lower low come from? Where does it go? Like, where do we set that lower low at? Well, one thing that we failed to do time and time again is to use our bottom side Fibonacci retracement support. What that means is that as we do start to set our lower low, or our low there, our swing low to our swing high, we have failed this region, our retracement zone, for the last couple months. This zone right here, this is our retracement zone. We have failed this multiple times. We failed it here, we failed it here, because as you can see, we were crashing back down to that one. We're crashing back down to that $1 region. So what I want to see this time around is how do these different levels hold up? Because when it holds up, in my anticipation that it will, if it crashes down to $1 again, we'll just have to adjust and adapt. But all things are looking like this may happen. Is that if we do hold up, that's my buying opportunity. So let me point out some of these different levels. That level number one, of course, we have the $1.25. It's the 382 typically doesn't hold very strong, but considering the fact that $1.25 is such a whole number and it's such an appealing number, we could definitely see that happen. But our second one would, of course, be our 0.5. That's the first level I'm looking like, okay, let's find some support here. Now that's going to be at $1.20. Now, if we come down and we can set 1 or 2, 3 days of support here, boom, and we start to work our way back up, buying opportunity number one. But say if we crash down below that, say if we're unable to hold it, we're starting to see some people get a little bit nervous again. This is the region that I'm looking for absolute support. I do not want to see it fall below. The $1.16 to $1.09. It's only 9 cents off. It's only a 9% difference, right? 10% difference from about $1. But it is very, very important that we set this as that higher low. This is where I want to see the higher low at. If we work our way back in this thing and work our way out, that's my buy. That's my buying opportunity when we get that support establishment on one of these fib retracement levels on the downside, because we have been unable to do so multiple times in the past, but we're breaking a lot of the patterns that were being set in the past, which goes to tell me that this could definitely happen. Okay. Now this is a very similar formation that we're seeing on multiple different cryptos right now. Let me go over to Matic just to show you. Matic's another fantastic crypto. Well, if we do go ahead and we look at our swing high here off that wick down to our swing low, we can see that a very similar thing is going on. We went in, we retraced back up, but we retraced back into our 786 to our 618, and we're unable to clear it, and it looks like a rollover may be somewhat happening. Now, it'd be a very, very similar thing to look for. I would be looking to see, can we find support in our retracement zone? Can we go here? Boom, find some support at our 0.5, our 87 cents. Or can we retrace back down and find some support on our 81 region, our 81 to our 72? Can we find some support in this region? Because if this is the case, since we have not been able to recently, that goes to show me that boom, higher low, we go up, we use this support to set that higher high, we set that uptrend, and that is a great buying opportunity, right? So that's what I'm really, really looking for. And if you do go ahead and apply this to pretty much a lot of the very similar market cap altcoins to some of our ADAs and our Matics, they all look about the same. So understand that even if we do start to fall, if we can find support here, this is even further confirmation that what we're seeing from total market cap 2, that what we're seeing from Ethereum, Bitcoin, that what we're seeing from Bitcoin dominance is really, really, really starting to play out, because that downward selling pressure isn't as strong. And as that starts to slow down, that selling pressure starts to slow down, people start to get a little bit confident. Boom, 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 boom. Then we can see that uptrend beginning. So pay attention. Pay close attention. Use this as an example, but don't use this as your guide to investing. Okay? This is just even more research for you, but this should not be your guide to what you will and will not do. But do understand that we may find some support here. If we start to clear that level we talked about, that $1.40, that's a buy. That's a buy for me. But even if we fall, boom, I'm looking for this to hold very, very soon. Now, of course, if you do want access to all of this information early, if you do want access to me, I'm in my Patreon all day long, right? I'm constantly in there. I'm always talking to people. I post my trades. I post my portfolio. I do all that. So if that is something you would want access to, of course, go down to the link in the description. Go check it out. Of course, I would appreciate it. But with that being said, guys, that is going to be about it for today's video. I'm sure you can hear it. I am super sick. I have a sinus infection and it's killing me. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go get some rest. But pay close attention to these things, guys. They're super important. But with that being said, you guys know the drill. I post on this channel 1 to 2 times every single day, and I can't wait to see you all next time. Peace.